I really didn't want to have to go at this alone. And I know that it's going to be difficult. It's not going to be easy to do. But I can say that you guys being there for me has helped out tremendously. More than you could ever know. And if you've stumbled across this video for the first time, then welcome. Welcome to the channel. Welcome. My name is Kevin, Kevin in all caps, youtube.com/@Kevin247. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Patreon. I'm on a few different platforms trying to connect. And that quite possibly has been the biggest help, besides you guys supporting, watching the videos, commenting on the videos, making suggestions. I really do appreciate it. Sending emails, sending direct messages. And even my wife, Squirrel Tribe, Michelle, she has made some suggestions, and she suggested that I put myself out there. Excuse me, sorry about that. She suggested that I put myself out there and start talking more and expanding on who exactly I'm talking to, and getting comfortable with that idea, which I didn't really expect for her to suggest, but it seems to be working out. Relationships change over time, and they don't necessarily have to grow apart, but they are going to grow differently. And they're not always going to take the same path as one another. But at the same time, it's almost like a tree or a river. If you got a flowing river and then you put a stick in the middle of the river, or you put your paddle, or you put your oar, or you just step your foot in the river, the water's gonna go around it. It's gonna divide the water. And at some point, it's going to come back together. It's going to reunite. So perhaps I should look at it just like that. There will be a time where a division is put between us, but eventually we're going to come back together. I don't know when. I don't know how long that would take. I don't know the full extent of what that looks like. Nobody does. But eventually we'll get back together. So, talking to different people, mostly there's a lot of women who are engaging in conversation, leaving messages, leaving comments, DMs, as well as I came across a young lady, and she really caught my eye. She caught my attention. Now, it's 2023, and, things are getting a little crazy out there. So the idea of trying to develop a new relationship while you already have an existing relationship, maybe, depending on who you ask, is not necessarily the greatest idea or best move. But then if you ask others, they're like, no, you should go for it. You should give it a try, especially if your wife is telling you it's okay. Especially if she's telling you that, if that's what's going to make you happy, give it a shot. So I got to put some thought into that. I got to put a little bit more thought into that. And this is a very fluid situation. Each and every day, there's a swing, there's an upswing, there's a downswing. And even last night, I noticed some strange activity going on. Unexpected, like unexplainable. But now, today, everything's fine. Everything's fine. I can't put my finger on it. It doesn't always make sense, but I also can't necessarily control it. So all I can do is live through it. That's it. Now, I thought about getting up early today and going out and catching the sunrise together. But it's an overcast, cloudy day, and it's supposed to rain soon. I don't think it's going to be much of a sunrise to record, so I'll hold off on that. But we do have family coming in. It should be a lot of fun. Hopefully we can get some videos together and really expand on these conversations, get some different perspectives, and just enjoy the time that we have together. Summer vacation is kicking off. They're coming down from Atlanta. They have a different school schedule. So now they're out of school. So let the party begin. Maybe we'll even pour some mimosas. And see what happens there. Every time we record after having mimosas, there's always some unexpected event. And they want to hit the beach as much as they can. They want a lot of beach. They want a lot of pool. And they want to do a lot of cooking. They have a specific request. They want to cook. They only want to eat out twice. They want to go to breakfast one day and they want to eat dinner one day. And that's it. The rest is cooked because they prefer to cook their own food, healthier foods, and cheaper foods. We went out and got some steaks. You guys may or may not have seen that video, but we went out and got some steaks. And for the price of one entree at a restaurant, we were able to feed 3 people for 3 days, or 3 meals. 3 people for 3 meals for the price of one entree. All we had to do was do it ourselves here. I put up a video last night about, money savings, frugal budgeting strategies and tips. And that was about automotive, car maintenance and repair. But it applies across the board. Food is going to be one of the biggest expenses that most people will encounter, especially when traveling and on vacation. Now, granted, we've got another trip coming up. So we got family coming in town. Then when they leave, we've got a friend coming in town, Chris Igo's coming to town. You may have seen him on some of my videos or seen me on his videos or seen him on Michelle Squirrel Tribe's videos, Squirrel Tribe 2.0. Then after that, we're going to Tampa, I think. And then we're jumping on a cruise. And the cruise is a little unique because the cruise, I believe, is all you can eat buffet. So that cost for the expense of food on that type of vacation is pretty much fixed. It's a fixed cost. It's constant. Cruises, I think, are quite possibly the biggest value play when it comes to vacation, with the greatest expense being the travel and potential lodging costs, hotel, room and board, while waiting to board at the port. But if you live close to the port, then you can avoid that and just drive straight to it. Now, we're not very close to that port. I think there's a port out of Mobile, which now I got to ask Michelle if that was an option, because Mobile would have probably been closer. We could have just drove to Mobile and jumped on the boat. But me personally, with something like that, I prefer to be there early. I don't want to try to be there on time, because, I mean, when I say early, I mean like a day early. Because even if you're trying to be there like an hour or two early, anything can happen. You know, you can have a mechanical breakdown, you can have flat tire, you can have an accident, you could have major traffic. Anything is possible. So, I don't know. Call me paranoid. And then after that, I think we come back and then we go to Atlanta. And then from there, we may end up going to Nashville. And then from there, I'm not 100% sure what happens next. So this summer is kind of like a hodgepodge, but shoot from the hip and just see where we end up, see where we land. I'm sure at some point in time we'll end up in Las Vegas, because the kid really, really wants to go back to Las Vegas. Maybe we end up in Utah, because Stephen Gardner really wants us to come out to Utah and hang out. Maybe we go to Colorado again, because we really like Colorado, and look for property and potentially move to Colorado. Maybe we go back to Wyoming, because Grand Teton is beautiful. There's so many options. But then it's like, do we take the Porsche Macan GTS, or do we take the Jeep Wrangler Sahara? So many choices, so many options. Maybe if I put the roof rack on the Porsche, we can take the Porsche and we can take the kayaks, because I know Michelle would love to put the boat Deus kayaks in the water in different places, different parts of the country. She is a destination snob. And it's like, you can get coffee at Starbucks, but anywhere, right? But she wants to get coffee at Starbucks everywhere. And she wants to collect the mugs, and she wants to get the stickers, and she wants to take the pictures, and she wants to make the memories, which is, it's a beautiful thing. Spending time making memories, taking trips, traveling, experiencing different things, different places, different cultures, different events. I really enjoy it. So, and then, maybe even jumping out in the water in a boat. Since we're members of Freedom Boat Club, we can get boats all over the country. So that's pretty cool. I do remember now that I said that we have to be back here, because we have a birthday party on a boat coming up. I know that. But either way, I will bring you guys along on that journey. And y'all commented and stated that you really enjoy the scenery, you enjoy the beach, the crashing waves, you want to see more of the housing and the real estate. I think we're going to an open house later this week, but in a few days, because technically today is Thursday. My days are all thrown off. That was one of the things I had mentioned just the other day, is that, I quit my job, and, my schedule is whatever my schedule is going to be. Like, I do what I want whenever I want. And it's just a lifestyle that I've worked towards creating. So when I say this week or that, it's like, I'm just thinking like in the next 7 days. Because typically this week means, starting Sunday or starting Monday, depending on, how you start your week. But that's it. That's it. We're gonna take it one day at a time, and make the most of it, make the best of it, enjoy ourselves. Maybe probably come across some of you folks at some point in time. No matter where we go, we always end up running into someone unique, whether they have a unique story or they say, "Hey, you're on YouTube or whatever." And it's always interesting the reason that they remember you from YouTube. It's not always necessarily what your channel was created for or is mainly about. It's usually about like a certain video, which I thought the YouTube algorithm was actually switching and changing over to making each video unique to the channel versus the channel being a collection of videos. But I'm not 100% sure. But I am getting little hints and indications of what the algorithm is after. And it's not really a path that I had expected. But if it is in fact true, then that's good, because that means it can help me identify and understand the content that needs to be created and help those in search of that content find it. So this may include, talking about marriage. This may include talking about divorce. This may include talking about friendship. This may include talking about monogamous relationships. This may include talking about polyamorous relationships. This may include talking about open relationships and open marriages and introducing new parties into a marriage. Bringing on multiple girlfriends, bringing on multiple boyfriends, or on the side, or whatever it may be. This may include financial components to the relationships: money, savings, debt, credit, careers, side hustles, passive income, investments, retirement savings, inheritance, annuities, dividends, and spending habits: being frugal, being wasteful, being prudent, being smart, being educated, being courageous and risk taking, and all things in which I'm interested in discussing, interested in discovering, interested in testing and trying out, and sharing with you all. I asked a friend yesterday, I said, if you want to educate and help others, what is your experience with, stocks and investing? He goes, man, I got that. I said, well, what about Forex? He's like, no, I don't really know Forex that well. I said, all right, well, stick with stocks, talk about options trading, share the news, what's happening. The market is going to be taking somewhat of a dive, depending on who you ask and at, what point in time. And this is going to be a great opportunity for you to get out there and share this with people who would love to know and have the opportunity to get started with a brokerage like Moomoo. Link down in the description for Moomoo. Get your free stocks from Moomoo and start making some money, as well as about the free money from Facebook and how you can make $175 a day from Facebook from just replying to comments. All those links are down in the description. I'll actually include a few other links down there for some folks who would want someone to talk to and don't necessarily have someone to talk to, because I think that this is very, very important, and your mental health is just as important as your physical health, whereas your physical health also will play a part in relationships. Ladies, gentlemen, guys, girls, boys, not boys, but you guys know what I mean. If things ain't quite, how they used to be, links down in the description. That's all I'm saying. But ladies too, it's a give and take. There's two sides, and the physical and intimate part of the relationship is just as important as the emotional and mental part of the relationship. And when they're all firing on all cylinders, then that's when sparks fly. That's when the magic happens. But either way, I got some more work to do. We're going to finish cleaning up here, getting ready for the folks that are showing up here in just a few hours. And I have no clue what the day holds and what videos are coming up next. Besides, I do have a few more financial updates to bring you, some wealth building strategies, investments, stocks, options, blue chip stocks, Fortune 500, Fortune 100 company stocks, changes in the economy with some of these businesses and the choices and selections that they're making with new laws being passed, legislation, and new social credit, ESG, and DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion changes that are happening every single day. We have kind of we have heard a little bit less noise out of some of the headlines, being the debt ceiling, which has been suspended. So maybe people will still get, their money from the government without interruption. It's been suspended. And we have heard less about central bank digital currency, or CBDC, as elections are gearing up. They're moving on. We've heard less about the banning of TikTok and social media. We've heard less about a lot of different things. But I think this is all part of the plan. I think this is all by design. You got to remember, when you're engaging in consuming content that it is driven by profit, you have to believe half of what you see and none of what you hear.